March 27th, Corona Day 4. Supermarket in Mulberry Lane. A very nicely well stocked supermarket. Always puts them on at ease. Calm, serene, collected. Nobody's panicking. Everybody's slowly buying them what they need. Casual. Not pushing people, not fighting people. Nobody's in a rush to get any rice. Everything's cool, calm, collected. God bless Vietnam. Alright, I'm gonna go out for a walk. Today Kay and Mayor are gonna go out to town on a little romance date. I just gotta take a stroll. So here's a little story. Wake up morning Rory. There's a guy called Richie who lives in Caesars Avenue across the road, and he was walking his dog with his Hungarian girlfriend. And this guy pulls up in a sports car, right? Big yellow sports car, jumps out with a golf club and fucking runs at him with massive racist slurs, just completely lost the cool and said, "You dirty foreigner, go home," or whatever in his pigeon bloody English. And instead of people kind of like running over and helping him, Richie apparently tried to defend himself, but ended up getting a pretty good bit of a beating. And then instead of people dragging the guy, the offender who had attacked them with the golf club, the guy who attacked them with the golf club ended up walking the two people that he had beaten up towards the police station as if he was bringing these people who had committed a crime into the fucking police station. Luckily for Richie, there was a Vietnamese journalist who was there and who helped him through the entire ordeal. But the guy was held overnight and fined. And apparently the news on the grapevine is that this guy has done it before. So to add more stress to everybody's mental health at the moment, apparently there's a lunatic in a yellow sports car driving around with a golf club. So let's go see if we can find him, because I guarantee you he'll be getting a brick through the window. Come on. What else in other news? Had an NA meeting today. I was about to drive to Babi this morning, but I did a U-turn because it started pissing raining. Rang up my ex-sponsor and told him I had 3 beers yesterday, and he just said, "What am I, your counselor? Why don't you just take out all your money and go and spend it all on drinking drugs?" Which I was like quite confused by, because that is kind of contrary to what a sponsor is supposed to say. If I was to take out all my money and go and spend it on drinking drugs, then I would have no money left for my baby. So clearly that advice must be a joke, right? It's some type of joke. And he said, "No man, you need to go hit your rock bottom again." I'm like, fuck me, I've hit my rock bottom plenty of times. The last thing I need to do right now is hit my rock bottom. And so we politely, ended that conversation, and I had a food for thought, and I said, you know what he always said, put the bloody program first and I never get it right, And so now I'm trying to do it. I just, I did the read Bill's story, the doctor's opinion. And it's funny because on page 4 of the big book, he's talking about Bill's story, and Bill was quite a wealthy man. He was involved in stocks and all of that. And the origins of AA come about the time of the 1929 Great Depression, and people were jumping off buildings because they had lost so much money, which is ironic because at this moment in time we are currently undergoing something of the exact same. So anyway, look, I'm just gonna stroll. I'm out for a stroll, get some fresh air.
what's his face? My mate Lee over in Philippines is in full-scale lockdown, so there's pandemonium. Everybody's rushing to the supermarkets to try and get the last bit of food that they can. Nobody knows how long the lockdown is going to be. I predict a riot. Those riots are going to go. It's only a matter of time. If a quarter of the world is in lockdown, it's only a matter of time before people start rebelling, you know? Well, here's the fucking military now, look. Fuck me. So, yeah, that's it. Let's see if I can get some more footage. See what these guys are doing. Nah, it's just a garbage truck. Yeah, welcome to Corona day fucking 4, I think. I can't remember how many vlogs I've done. I actually got some feedback from somebody who said he was actually well interested in what I'm doing. Cruising about, showing off the back streets of this beautiful little city of ours. Hanoi, Hanoi, we love you, Hanoi. At the moment, as I have been saying to a lot of my buddies online, and you know, the key to this mental health game is to stay in contact. And fortunately, as a teacher, what you end up doing is you acquire just a massive plethora of, you know, English teachers from all over. Well, check that shit out, boys. They're certainly in full work, full operation. No problem there. So yeah, I was talking to my mate in the Philippines who I mentioned in a blog there fucking a day or two ago, who got married at against all odds, you know, pulled off this wedding where the police tried to break it up. The police came to his wedding and said that most weddings have been shut down, but his wedding can go ahead, but only because he made a bit of a... See, people are making a little bit of a dash for the ATM. That's the kind of thing that gets me worried. Anyway, look, Patrick and Lee, but two friends of mine that are in separate parts of the Philippines. Now, Patrick's down in Cebu, and he's in full-scale lockdown, which means that they need to have a special card, I can't remember the or something like that the local mayor issues to only one person from each residence. And basically, unless you have that card, you're not allowed to go down to the supermarket. But in any case, that lockdown was in Cebu. Now it's in full effect in. Hold on, my feckin' face mask is falling off again. That one is in full-scale lockdown. Now it's spread on up to Widu Widu, which is a place not so far from Bacolod, from where my fiance is from, and where we are destined to go once this invisible enemy disappears. Now, back to reality. Yeah, so we're driving down these little side streets. When you live in Hanoi, you eventually, you know, when you're working for public schools and like larger scale English centres, the best bet to do as an English teacher is actually to hedge your bets and take on public school work and also work for one of the bigger companies. Anybody who's been in Vietnam for longer than I'd say a year has probably been through 2 or 3 schools, to say the least. But the goal, the best way to do it is to always be working for 2 or 3 separate companies, so that if one place pisses you off for any type of reason, hello, friendly people. Yeah, so you end up working for these agencies, and what the agencies do is they say to you, listen, you got 2 hours in this public school over here, you got another 2 hours in that public school over there, and you got a 1 hour in that public school over there. What I want you to do is I want you to do the impossible. I want you to jump onto your motorbike in between classes, race down these little back alleys as fast as you can, getting from A to B to C, getting from one school to the next in a mad panic to get to your class, which ends up being quite cartoonish, you know, like you run into one like 4th grade, you know, you're teaching 4th grade in God, I can never even bloody remember the names of my Chang Chung Chung, Zhang Chang Chung was the name of the school where I predominantly taught. Oh, look at that dog. kick-ass. And then, you know, I'd be required to jump on my bike and fucking boot it across over to another school, Kim Jiang, which wouldn't be too far away. But the thing is that they tell you that you're supposed to get there. The class would start like literally 10 minutes after the class that just finished, and the actual trip might take you 15 minutes. But because the agents take a cut of every teaching hour that you teach, what ends up happening is we'll take a cruise down here and check out the graveyard. What ends up happening is that inevitably you're going to end up being like 5 or 10 minutes late, and the agents just tell the schools that it's our fault, right? So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, in that you know right well that the agent is taking the piss, also like trying to push you to drive as fast as possible from one school to the next, thereby putting yourself at great risk. Not only that, what you end up being is adept at doing exactly what I'm doing right now. In that, like, the people that care about it are like, oh my god, this guy's driving around with a fucking GoPro, one hand driving a motorbike. Now, what happens when you live in Hanoi is that the motorbike becomes like a part of you. It's like a third limb. And oh, look at these little dogs. Your motorbike becomes a third limb, and you can very easily, you know, just navigate around and cruise. Like, traffic rules here, basically, like if you want to cross through a fucking red light, then you can do it. You know, it's optional. And if you want to drive on the footpath, well, by all means, drive on the footpath, because everybody else drives on the footpath. And that's only that's at any given time. Rush hour traffic and all of that jazz. So you end up becoming this like mad fucking English teacher slash lunatic who's able to juggle 300 teaching jobs at the same time. And at the end of the day, to get your bread and butter over here, you only really need to teach like 18 to 20 hours. That's when the schools were open. Now the schools are closed. Look down this little side of it. These are the kind of things that you end up being fascinated with, you know, just like how to discover what the real Hanoi is like. Hello! Hello! You go down here and you see like the activity that goes on down these little back streets, and there's feckin' tons of them, like they're all over the place. A lot of them they end up just coming to dead ends, but a lot of them actually end up reconnecting. A lot of them end up reconnecting with some main motorway, and then you're just back into the mix of things. Like for example, this is not a dead end. So you learn these little back roads, and you just like get on your motorbike and go on an adventure. And in particular now, in this kind of like 80% shutdown, where coffee shops and restaurants and cafes are supposed to be closed, but yet mechanics, I mean, it's strange that mechanics are supposed to stay out while pharmacies are open. That's a good sign. But it's strange how you see that there's a bit of pig for sale. That, like, see, my train of thought gets lost because, you know, as you can see for yourself, it's quite an impressive ensemble of little makeshift business. Look at this fucking business going on everywhere. That woman's probably about to pick up that bag of trash and make money out of it. This guy's going around selling cement. This guy's got a bag of fucking clothes. That guy's selling badminton lessons. Hello! You know, and seems like everybody's in good spirits. So, hello, sit down! No, see, some people are, some people aren't. The problem. to me that there's a lot of tension at the moment between the kind of, you know, the motorbike guys and the guys here on my left in the big 4x4. At the last set of traffic lights, there was a guy, just a normal courier guy, who fucking started banging on the window of one of the 4x4s with the tinted windows, you know. He was like, "Hey, what the fuck you doing? Fucking..." No, whatever it was. Just started shouting and screaming. So there's a lot of hostility between those who, I would say, drive around in a nice expensive car and those of us who just mosey about on our bikes. I mean, there's a lot of hostility everywhere, really, you know. But... All right, so I got to give you a quick lap around the. I'm going to take my headphones off. PM Lake here, guys. I suppose one of the main highlights of Hanoi. Many people just going about their, you know, daily exercises, enjoying the weather. Some fucking weirdo over there doing some weird fucking exercises. Semi-policeman, probably. Punching a big white car. That's the kind of thing that I was telling you about. So those big 4x4s, which actually cost like far more money than they would overseas, because a lot of them are actually imported. It just highlights the massive divide between the incredibly rich and the incredibly poor here. Like, for example, one of the guys that I was talking to in Seasons Avenue told me that some people spend more on their actual 4x4s than they do on the apartments that they own. Now, maybe not these 4x4s, but they pay a huge amount in tax. Yeah, those guys with the new fucking shirts on, they are most definitely just like picked up off the street and given I haven't seen that kind of uniform before, so they've obviously brought out the yogels. Probably just let a couple of boyos out of prison and told them to go and beat the shit out of anybody who seems to be upsetting the order of things, while the higher ups don't like to get their hands dirty, because I guess maybe they're... Look at that guy, makeshift uniform. I wouldn't like one of them. Two more guys in makeshift uniforms. They weren't here a couple of weeks ago. There's several different types of police uniform. There's there's two green uniforms, one brown uniform, and then of course the mass majority of the motherfuckers don't wear uniforms at all, and they're the scary ones. Also, Interpol has a very large presence here, but sure, that's besides the point. A lot of people think that that's in my mind, but I don't know if the hotels are still open. So, red light, who gives a fuck? So Circle K's are still open. It's always a good sign. Replace that woman just a wee bit. Yeah, no tourists. Fucking no tourists. And I just saw a hat shop. So, do I want to go and buy a new hat? Here's my phone ringing. By the sounds of it, it's a WhatsApp call. Let me press phone. Alright, just took a phone call from a mate of mine in Shanghai. Also a fellow member. So he just sent me on a link for yet another online recruitment company. So now we have say SK, the school that I used to work for, is about to get back to me about the possibility. That looks like a nice little sideways turn. Just zip around here, do it up over the bloody tiles like that. Yep. Check out that guy with the tats. Yeah, so I've got Say ABC, I've got Palfish, I've got iTutor, and now I've got another link on another possibility for a website. So Jesus Christ, if I can't get a job, where's the bloody, what's that doing? It's a sports bar that's open. That's not supposed to be open. There's like loads of places here. Hello. Shelves are still open. Where are we now? We are not going the right way. Up here, we're going to do a U-turn. Oh, here's the famous railway. You can walk down there. It's a nice long walk if you wanted to walk along the railway. Yeah, so where was I going with the lockdown, the situation with lockdown. So quarter of the bloody world is in lockdown at the moment. And here's me blessed with the fortunate circumstances that I'm in to be in a city where I can just cruise around in a motorbike that I paid like $150 for. And you know, life is good, life is sweet and life is rosy. You know, everybody's like restaurants, supermarkets, gyms are closed, but mechanics, shoe shops, clothes shops, it's kind of bizarre the businesses that are open, and some businesses are half open and half closed. I'm not sure if that means that like some of them are ignoring the fact that they navigational skills are shit. Nobody. Some people yeah, the last video that I put up, where the fuck am I now? Oh, I hate when this happens. Anyway, when it does, you just drive around until you see something familiar. Now I know that I am getting into the territory of 30 minutes, and I don't like my videos to be longer than 30 minutes. So I might keep this short and sweet, like my penis dipped in honey. But it's not really going to be short and sweet, like my penis dipped in honey. It's not short. I did want to show you the fix the lake off. I mean, you saw a bit of the lake. Yeah, someone got on to me today. It was the first time someone actually said, "Hey, fair play to you. The videos that you're making are quite entertaining." He did say that it might be a good idea for some training, any mention of my association with the said AA establishment. Talking about AA when I'm really talking about the corona. Your guess is as good as mine, guys. You know, I don't know what that is. So let's see if I can put an end to this on a kind of a happy note. My day today started off kind of a little bit, you know, lethargic, and then I was jogging and running. Then I went back and I watched a movie. Then I spoke to some friends. When I get on my motorbike and I go cruising like this, and I just check out and see what's going on. You know.